Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor, or Plantus Woman if you don't know. And today we're going to be doing my 2020, the entire year, houseplant favorites. So all these plants in front of me, there is a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2 that are too big to pull. So lots of plants that I have been loving the entire year of 2020. So if y'all want to see all the plants that are near and dear to my heart and soul, keep on watching. Okay, you guys, there is no specific order and they are all over the place, all tangled up in each other. So I'm just gonna grab one and go and grab one and go, and we will go from there, okay? So the first one on my list is my string of hearts. This baby I love so much. It is really balding and honestly not doing very well right now, but it's so long and beautiful, and I couldn't have a 2020 favorites if I didn't mention this plant. I love this plant. I loved it so much when it was even healthier. And this is the first plant that my husband fell in love with and was constantly checking on and monitoring. It was a bonding moment for us. I do think it's fascinating, and people that are not into plants tend to want to check mine out. They think it's cool, and I agree. I think it's such a cool plant. If you have a chance to get one, I highly recommend it. Now let me wrap this thing up real quick. It's also so annoying to move, am I right? I don't know how people keep it untangled, because that's not me. Okay, next, let's go into Hoya. My first Hoya that I ever got. This is one of my first plants. This is my Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen. She is a queen. She is beautiful, and this thing is definitely a fast grower. That's what got me into Hoya, was how fast this grew. I was so into this plant. This is kind of what set off a frenzy of like obsession with unique plants. And I know this isn't that unique, but at the time it was for me, and I was obsessed. It's super lime green because I have it sun stressed in a south window, and I'm just obsessed with this baby. It's so beautiful. It puts out white and pink leaves. If you guys don't have one of these, you definitely should get one. It's just a staple in my collection. And that Hoya led me into many other Hoya, one of which is my Hoya australis. I love this plant so much. Again, it is growing like crazy. It has all of these long leaves on it. Oh my gosh, look, there's a string of hearts attached to it. R.I.P. baby. Guess I'll be propagating you. Yes, it's such a big grower. Beautiful, round, shiny leaves. So beautiful. I feel like I'm gonna be saying the same thing about all these plants. They're beautiful and they're easy and they're fast growing and I love them. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. If you don't have one, I highly recommend it. I definitely need to give this thing a trellis because it is growing wonky. Speaking of trellis and or poles, let's go to Rhiphidophora tetrasperma. I have a giant one on the wall that you guys see me post very often. I didn't want to pull it off the wall, so here is a smaller, more baby version, but these are definitely my fastest growing plant. They're so easy, they're beautiful. I love them so much. My hat's falling off my head. Okay. I just think they're really beautiful. If you guys do not have one, I highly recommend you pick one up. I got this one at Home Depot for $9, so you can find them at an affordable price if you are patient. Love her so much. Let's see. Okay, next, let's go Adansonii, shall we? This plant looks really wonky, I know, and that's because I gave it a huge trim back. I underwatered it, so it had a ton of yellowing and brown leaves like this one. And I also propagated it so many times, so it looks a little bare right now, but I just love the holes on these leaves are just stunning. I love this plant so much. I could have 100 of these. If you guys don't have one, again, I highly recommend it. I know some people don't like Adansonii, and I just don't get it because I think it's such a cool plant. I have the wide form and the narrow form. This is the wide form. I do prefer the wide form, but I definitely like both, and yeah. It was a favorite of the year. I had to mention it. I love it very much. And it will definitely get full again really fast. That plant grows like crazy. Speaking of grows like crazy, how about the next one, which is my Begonia maculata. This plant, first of all, like, what? This plant is huge, and I always joke that this plant is happy and sad at the same time. If you're a Casey fan, you know. But all of the new growth is just coming out like crazy, so it seems so happy because it's always growing, but all of the old leaves are crunchy and brown and kind of gross, so that's my joke. It's happy and sad at the same time. I know that's a humidity issue, but I give it what I can. And if it has brown edges, it has brown edges. I still think it's beautiful. I think it's so eye-catching. Anyone that's not into plants that comes and looks at my plants, this is the very first plant that they point out. They think it looks so cool and they love it, and I agree, it's beautiful. I love it so much. I actually killed the first one that I got for my birthday, and so I kind of hated it for a while. But now that I've kind of figured this one out I'm definitely a fan. I had to put it on my favorites because it's just so beautiful, and every day I am looking at this crazy polka dot plant. Like, look at that thing. So beautiful. I can't wait to see if it survives in 2021. I hope that it does. Okay, next, you guys knew this one was gonna be on the list, is my, I'm just breaking leaves left and right. This was not a good idea. Is my Cebu Blue Pothos. This baby is so thick. I still have the tag on it. I got this for $13 at Walmart, and what a find. This was 100% my biggest find price-wise of the year. I was so stoked when I found this. I freaked out. I was so excited, and this thing has just grown and grown and grown and grown and grown. It's so long, and I have cut this thing like 100 times. Anybody that has a Cebu, you guys know these things grow crazy fast, and I think they're so easy. They definitely deflate when they need water, you'll know, and that's why I've got some yellow tips going on because I did underwater it a little bit. That's who I am as a person, it's fine. But yeah, it bounces back every time. Every time I think I've killed it, it comes back, so it's easy like a pothos. I think it's beautiful, and the color is just, it's just unmatched. I love it so much. She is my baby. Okay, and next is kind of a duo. Okay, next is a duo, and that is my Scindapsus. I've got my Argerias and my Exotica here. Both of these totally sent me on a houseplant frenzy. When I got these, the obsession was real. Scindapsus is one of my all-time favorite plants. All the varieties, I love these plants, the silver and the spots, like, they're beautiful. I can't pick a favorite. I love them both. I'm obsessed with them both. They're super easy care, and I think that everyone should have multiple Scindapsus in their collection because they are my favorite. And I love them so much. Okay, is that everything in front of me? All right, that's everything in front of me. I'm gonna throw on the screen the next two plants. I didn't wanna move them because they were too large. And the first one is my Monstera deliciosa. This plant is huge and beautiful and eye-catching and just stunning. I've had other Monstera throughout the year, and this one is my newer giant one. Of course I had to put it in my favorites. It's just beautiful. There is nothing else that can be said about this plant. It's stunning and I love it, and it's perfect. Like, I literally am obsessed with this plant. The next plant is my philodendron burl marks. Again, it is eye-catching, it's beautiful, it's easy. When I first saw this plant, I was not interested. I did not like them very much, and now that I have it, I'm obsessed. I think it's so stunning and beautiful. The leaves are so long. It is just to die for. I'm obsessed with it. I love it, and it has been so easy. I've had no pests, hardly any dead leaves on it. It's just super easy. Okay, you guys, that's it for my 2020 favorites. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know down below if any of these plants were in your favorites for the year, or if you had other plants, let me know down below. I'd love to hear what your top favorite plants were. And again, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and I would love it if you would subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope that you have a wonderful new year.